chew that bone. It is time to let go of the breast milk and move on to solid foods. Life is a journey of stages. Every stage demands a shift in diet, a new strength, a new mindset, etc. Just as the baby must eventually be weaned off milk and introduced to solid foods, so must we as humans grow from dependence to responsibility, from comfort to courage, and from softness to strength. Welcome to Frankie John's Mental Infrastructure, the place for building strong minds, one insight at a time. Do well to subscribe, like, and share our content for more rewarding experience. Now, let's dive in. Growth is not an option, it is the law of life. Mixed seasons are necessary, but they are not permanent. Milk represents ease, comfort, dependence. It is a stage where everything is given to you and little is demanded of you. But there comes a time when milk can no longer sustain you. Your system requires tougher meals, meat, bones, complexity, and responsibility. Growth is the graduation from what once sustained you to what will now empower you. And think of it, a 25-year-old still breastfeeding will be tragic, unnatural, and even embarrassing. Yet, many of us are still stuck on spiritual, financial, and professional milk. We want results without responsibility, blessings without burdens, and victories without battles. There's a story about the eagle you might know already. When the eaglets are born, the mother feeds them, nurtures them, and protects them with all her capacity. But at some point, she begins to stir the nest, removing the soft feathers and exposing the thorns underneath. Why? This is usually to make it uncomfortable for the young eagle to depend on the nest. So she pushes them out so that they can learn to fly. And here is the lesson. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If you remain in comfort, you will never rise to your destiny. Here's a call to confront. You were born to conquer, but you cannot conquer until you confront. To conquer means to overcome, to subdue, and to reign. But conquest is not automatic. It requires confrontation. To conquer fear, you need to confront it with boldness and faith. To conquer poverty, you need to confront it with habits and systems that produce wealth. You cannot conquer mediocrity until you confront it with discipline. David never became a celebrated king by sipping milk in his father's house. He stepped into greatness when he confronted the lion, the bear, and eventually Goliath with nothing but a sling and faith in his God. Guess what? If he hadn't learned to confront, he would have eventually been consumed by one of those predators. How about Nelson Mandela? He could have chosen comfort because he was a lawyer, he was educated, and had the option of living quietly in peace. But he confronted apartheid. That confrontation cost him 27 years in prison. Yet, in the end, he conquered not just for himself, but for the entire nation. Conquest without confrontation is merely fantasy. Winning is not easy. Any parent will tell you the tears and resistance that comes when a child is taken off milk. Growth always demands pain. You will feel pain to let go of dependence, but until you bear it, you cannot gain independence. When you shift from milk to meat, nobody spoon feeds you anymore. You must feed yourself, discipline yourself, and push yourself to wherever you want to get to. That's why Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spake like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. I did everything like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Childish things are milk. Yeah. Mature responsibilities are bones. Champions chew bones. Others spit it out. Take responsibility. Every failure swallowed is a bone chewed, and it strengthens you for the next round. The milk season is gone. The winning process is here. You cannot be great if you refuse to grow. The proof that you were born a conqueror is that life will never stop presenting you battles. So I say again, take up that bone and chew it. You have lived on milk only regimen for long enough. It is time to let go of that breast milk and move on to tougher meals. Arise and take your place in the table of kings. Have a nice day.